All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Arakah Kodash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of great millstone and rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, the Bayat, the Awadah, the house of David. This is the brother Malak coming back at you with this truth. All right, so let's go here first and foremost. Let's go to 2 Corinthians. Right, 2 Corinthians, the second chapter, in the 11th verse. Right, so where it says, least Satan should get an advantage of us, but we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant to this man's plans. This man's plan is to set up a new world order, to chip everybody on the planet. CBDC, central bank digital currencies, right? AI governance. You see? Fourth and fifth industrial revolution, transhumanism. Okay? UBI, universal basic income. Right? You see? CRISPR gene editing. Okay? And all these things of that nature, man. Stablecoin. This is going to be the CBDC. They're talking about with the Clarity Act, the Genius Act, which was signed in by Nero 47, aka Donald Trump, aka Nero 47, right? Who signed that stable coin in the Genius Act in by the super elite banking families, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, the DuPonts, and the Gettys, pretty much for that RFID microchip ran off of high frequencies of radiation, 6G, right, 7G, okay, and so on and so forth, man. All right, which is going to cause grievous sores. That's high frequencies of radiation, man. Then you got the jump shots involved, the mRNA. Right? Then you got all that involved. You got the birth registration. You got ID 4D, ID 2020, So all these things are in play, man. All right, let's go here real quick. It says they're using digital ID, right? Mass surveillance, AI governance, tokenization, nanotech, right? Carbon credits, right? Social credits, carbon footprint, right? Stable coins, smart meters, 15-minute smart cities, surveillance, monitoring, analysis, reporting, and tracking, artificial intelligence, AI, right? Wireless signals, 5G, 6G, 7G, and so on and so forth, man. Okay? So without that, let's go here real quick. Let's go here. Right? The AI digital ID, the future they promise, the control they plan. Right? Your identity, their database, permanent record, vaccine records, biometrics, social credit, centralized control, a worldwide surveillance police state. You see? All right? Let's go here. I'll always bring this out. Okay? So it says 16. It says UN 2030 Agenda, Goals 16 and 17. Peace and justice and strong institutions. Right? Promote peaceful societies and inclusive institutions for sustainable development. Only those with the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, and a digital ID passport with the biometrics, bio meaning the study of the body or life, metrics meaning the length. Right? Data on a blockchain, right? Which is everything going to be stored on your criminal history, your medical records, your social security, everything, right? It says can be tracked, traced, and controlled on that blockchain. It says and can be a part of the peaceful society. Social credits will be used to get the population to obey the new world order and to punish unwanted behavior. Those who do not comply will be imprisoned or have all benefits on a blockchain turned off. Right, now let's go to Revelation, the second chapter in the 10th verse. Right? It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Right? So let me go to Revelation 12 and 12. Revelation 12 and verse number 12. It says, therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Revelation 3 right? Revelation 3:10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast, right? Hold this wisdom and knowledge and understanding and this truth, right? That we have. We're not going to denounce the names of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, no matter if our head is in a guillotine and they're getting ready to chop it off, man. To hell with that. I'm gonna be risen back up anyway, even if they do put me to death. Lord will come back in the chariot with Yahweh, man. Okay? It says, behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. That crown, which is his knowledge, his wisdom, his truth. Right? Isaiah 33 and 6. And it reads, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh, right, is his treasure. You see? All right, so let's go back into here. Okay? It says 17. It says partnership. It says partnership for the goals. It says strengthen the means of implementation and revitalize global partnerships for sustainability in order to implement all 17 SDGs 16.917, right? Sustainable development goals and maintain global partnerships for the goals. A number of key technologies need to be further pushed on societies, such as the CBDC, central bank digital currency, that stablecoin, right? Because it's talking about that Genius Act and the Clarity Act. They all connect. They all coincide together, right? Blockchain technology, okay? CRISPR gene editing, mRNA, right? Transhumanism, okay? Switching genes and splicing genes and doing all these things of that nature. AI monitoring, sensors, AI and biometric facial recognition cameras, 5G, 6G, extra high frequencies of radiation, smart city surveillance, monitoring, analysis, reporting, and tracking, where everything is hooked up. IoE, the Internet of Everything, and you're hooked up. You become a human antenna with an RFID microchip to be tracked, traced, and controlled. Okay? It says a RFID chip, right? IoT, Internet of Things, IOB, Internet of Body, robotics, and as for robotics, is taking over all the jobs. You will have no jobs, right? You would just be a slave. According to the Georgia Guidestones, keep the population under 500 billion people. You see? Etc. to fully control the world, right? So let's get up out of there, right? Let's go here to this coin desk, right? So it says Visa looking for new stablecoin settlement partner after BVNK sell to MasterCard. It says Visa's request to product RFP talks about the need to support a range of stablecoins. All right. Visa is looking for a new stablecoin settlement partner with licensing capabilities across multiple regions, according to the document seen by CoinDesk. This would fill the role previously held by BVNK, the stablecoin firm acquired by MasterCard earlier this year. Visa's request for product RFP talks about the ability to swipe and support a range of stablecoins, as well as the handle settlement for the newly introduced Open USD, right? Stablecoin project fronted by Stripe, Visa, and MasterCard, which plans to support multiple stablecoins. It says Visa announced partnership with crypto from Zero Hash on August 5th. It says allowing eligible Visa Direct clients to pre-fund accounts and send payouts using stablecoins. However, the documents seen by CoinDesk are dated after the announcement and rather to regions with Zero Hash does not hold a license. The need for stablecoin partner license in all major markets means the scope of potential partners has narrowed somewhat, Visa said. The payments giant, and it is looking at one settlement and over-the-counter OTC partner in particular with cryptocurrency exchange license in the U.S., Canada, and the U.K. and Singapore. This is a universal thing. It's a global thing. Talking about this new world order, right? You see, you got BlackRock, you got Larry Fink, right? And all of them behind these. And you even got the Gavi Alliance involved, okay, with vaccines through Bill Gates and Melinda Gates Foundation. You see? So you got a lot of things going on. You got a lot of moving parts going on, man, in this beast system, right? It says the stablecoin race has slowed down despite a flat bearish market persisting across the rest of the crypto industry, as such stablecoins have become a focal point for the large card networks and payment players. The total stablecoin market cap is about 300 billion according to CoinGecko data. It says making strategic moves become more urgent when Stripe acquired stablecoin infrastructure firm Bridge in late 2024, when that devil has signed that in, right? The Genius Act. Okay. It says for 1.1 billion, this probably puts pressure on the likes of Visa and MasterCard to start kicking the tries of other stablecoin shops so as not to be outflanked by Stripe's aggressive approach. Last month, Visa launched its Visa stablecoin platform, giving banks, fintechs, and payment providers tools to access, store, redeem, and move stablecoins, with OUSD serving as an initial supported token. Visa declined to comment. So that's the end of the article, though, right? But the point of it is, it's all connected. So let's go here and let's get Revelation. We're going to end it here in Revelation, the 13th chapter, right? Revelation, 13th chapter. Let's just go right to the point. Let's start at 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the system, right? The digital system, the digital world of AI governance, robotics, right? CBDC, central bank digital currencies, IoT, IOB, Internet of Things, the human antenna. You become what you call the UPC. All right? It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Concentration camps, right? FEMA camps. And it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma, a mark, a charagma. You see? In their right hand or in their foreheads. You know, an etching put between your forefinger and your thumb. The BCI, the brain computer interface, is for your ALS patients. An exoskeleton, which is to have them use that miracle and walk. That's a left hand miracle, man. Okay? You see? Now I go into the mark a lot. I can go into the word charagma, right? And then you go into the charax, right? Which is the needle that is going to be put between your forefinger and your thumb to push and insert that RFID microchip in between there. You see? That's a warm part, where the warm part of your hand is at. All right, your forehead, that's another warm part where your brain is connected at, because your brain and your eyes are connected together. So it's going to be able to read that chip right square in the middle of your head, in your forehead. Okay? It says, and that no man might buy or sell, right? Buying and selling is transactional, save he that had the mark, the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. You see? Okay, that's 666. All right? That's Chi Sigma, right? Here is wisdom. Let him that haveth understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So we're just going to end it right there, right? We're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Marakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, the Bayat, the Wadah, the House of David.
Under the crooked Joe Biden administration, the spirit of innovation that built America was under serious attack like never before. And nowhere was that more true than crypto and other new financial technologies, where we were going to be taken to the cleaners by China and other countries. The radical left tried to crush these developments with crippling regulations, brutal restrictions, weaponization. They used weaponization, political weaponization, and constant targeting that drove innovation overseas. And they wanted to drive it out. And at the end of the toward the end of the campaign, if you remember, they decided they liked it very much because there were over 100 million people that were liking Trump a lot more because I was in favor of it. They were against it, and they became very much in favor of it. But by that time, it was too late. And besides, those days are all over. That was a terrible period of time for a lot of very good, very honorable financial people. On day one, we fired Joe Biden's rogue SEC chair, Gary Gensler. I think we like Paul better. Do we agree? We like Paul better? Number one, he's smarter. He's also smarter, by the way. But we fired him. We got him the hell out of here. We terminated the so-called Operation Choke Point 2.0, which is what the name of their operation was, weaponization. And we ended the war on crypto once and for all. And it's been booming. It's been doing big. And nobody's been able to break in. China would like to break in. They're still trying, but they have been able to. I signed a historic executive order banning any attempt to create a central bank digital currency. We launched Project Crypto to modernize rules so that our financial markets can move into blockchain technology. I established the United States Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, making Bitcoin a permanent asset of the United States Treasury, which has turned out incredibly well. I also created the United States Digital Asset Stockpile to hold custody of all other digital assets, and that's exactly what it's done. It's been amazing. 1 year ago this summer, I signed landmark legislation known as the Genius Act. I named it after myself. I didn't want to use my name, so I just called it the Genius Act, paving the way for widespread adoption of dollar-backed stablecoins. And that's worked out very well. Every single American benefits enormously from our country's status as the financial center of the world, and we want to keep it that way. We're leading by leaps and bounds. We've gained so much in the last 16 months like nobody can believe, actually. Not only that, but we have more money being invested in the United States than any country at any time in history. Money's coming in by the trillions. Our nation's economic dominance drives trillions of dollars in investments, creates millions of jobs, and expands access, credit, and capital so that every citizen has a chance to achieve what we now hear a lot about, the American dream. Young people are looking for the American dream. They weren't thinking about that 2 years ago. New financial technologies are extending this American dominance into the 21st century, and that's why we're focused on creating a clear regulatory framework for pioneers and builders like the people that are with me here so that they can do business with confidence on American soil. They don't have to go to other countries to do their business. We're ensuring that America remains the undisputed leader, not only in Bitcoin and crypto, but also technologies like prediction markets, artificial intelligence, and much more. And we're leading in every single one. And I will tell you, the AI, the artificial intelligence, we're way ahead of number two. Number two is China. And I never want to underestimate China, but right now we're way ahead. President Xi's coming on September 24th. We look forward to it. We'll probably be talking about AI and a lot of other things. But we're doing tremendously well, largely because of people and some other friends of ours that are on the board. And they'll be here in 2 weeks, I understand. In May, Chairman Selig authorized the first ever true Bitcoin perpetual futures contract on a CFTC registered exchange, first time. I understand that Mike is also working to bring hyperliquid into the United States in a fully compliant and legal fashion. He's working very hard on that. We would really like to see interest rates come down. You know, in the old days with interest rates, many of you are too young to know this, but when we announced good numbers, interest rates would go down. And the theory was because the asset value became so good, it became so prime. But now when we announce good numbers, which we're doing all the time, they keep driving the interest rates up because they're so afraid of inflation. And they shouldn't be. They should allow interest rates to go down. When you announce good numbers, you shouldn't drive them up. They keep thinking that we'll drive them up to stop inflation because success and growth does not cause inflation. Other things cause inflation. We inherited the number one inflation ever in the history of our country from Biden. And it lifted prices and everything else, and we're getting them all down. But interest rates should be allowed to fall with the success of our country, not rise because of the success. But we're also on the very beginning of a revolution in fictional and financial. You take a look at some of the things that are being done on a financial basis and the financial technology that's the potential to create more jobs, opportunity, and wealth for all Americans. And that's what it's doing. It's creating jobs and great wealth. And I think that can't be better seen by the stock market. So we've had 80 in a short period of time, a year and a half. We've had 80 days where the stock market hit all-time highs. I haven't looked today. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't look. I don't want to look. But I hear it's good. But we've had 80 days, Jeff, where the stock market has hit an all-time high. And nobody's ever seen anything like that. And I think bringing it down to another level, and maybe a higher level from the standpoint of importance, 401ks have hit record highs on almost 40% of the time that I've been president of the United States. And that affects tens of millions of people. The 401ks are at record numbers. So 2 years ago, our country was dead, and now our country is the hottest country anywhere in the world. There's nobody close. No other country is close, and every country will admit it. So now we need Congress to take the next step by passing the Clarity Act, a fair version of the Clarity Act, and this landmark structure legislation. It's a very, very powerful structured legislation which will keep us ahead of China, keep us ahead of everyone else.
Jews don't